Hello.
Hi, Ciara.
Hi, how you
Hi,
doing?
how are you?
I'm good. Just got my coffee and waking up.
Yeah, thank you so much for accommodating us though and being able to talk. We're really excited to speak with you.
No, of course. Thank you.
Yeah, so if you're all ready, I guess we'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah, ready to go.
Cool. Well, so like I said, first off, we just want to say thank you for being a fan of our products. We were really excited to see that you had our milk frother and we're enjoying it. We're really happy to be able to bring kitchen happiness to everyone, including you. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you for making the products and making my life a lot more fun in the kitchen.
That's awesome. That's what we love to hear. So going forward with that, like I said, we saw that you had our milk frother and we were just kind of curious, as you've been using it, what's been your favorite recipe to make with it?
Well, my whole thing, so I got so tired of going to, I mean, even though I got a coffee today, I just got so tired of going to coffee shops and just, I don't know, I want to be able to do things in my own kitchen. And my whole favorite thing is waking up in my like pajamas or sweats, going downstairs and just making a coffee. And I want it to be like next level. Also, I'm just so tired of just the black French press, whatever coffee. So it's been very nice, actually. I got my whole family's in it now. They've been using it where it's like selfishly we're all trying to fight over it now. But it makes it's such a better experience where I've been using the frother for even I have different like mixes like green mix with powder, anything with a powder I've been using it
Mhm.
also. So it's not like just for like milk frothing for me. So
Yeah.
it just makes my life easier. And so I've been doing like my little lattes with like almond milk and like cinnamon, little stevia, and sometimes even honey. And then I'll put that in there and kind of like do the whole little scientist thing going on. And then yeah, with my little mixes with like green juice and
Mhm.
stuff, because I used to use a fork and just like do this really and just annoy everyone. So this is just
Yeah,
a zzz, and then there it is.
that's awesome. That's so cool. We love to hear that. Um, yeah, that's it's really nice to see how people use our milk frother because we've on social media see a bunch of different ways. So it's always really interesting how different people are so creative in the recipes that they make. So that's really
Yeah, because a
cool.
lot of people I know are like, "What do you use that for? Why do you need to do your own milk bar? Can't just pour your creamer in the morning, like just be." But you can even take creamer and just like kind of froth it up, and it makes such a difference. And the people
Yeah.
I've done it for, or even just told them to do it, and if they have one or not, they're like, "Wow, game changing." And like it's yeah, like you said, it's like just being creative and being able to use it in different ways. I think is a huge thing for me at least.
Yeah. So it sounds like you already were pretty apt to cooking at home. Obviously this year with the pandemic and all the quarantines, did you have to make any adjustments to cook at home, or were you sort of already that was part of your routine?
It's interesting because I used to cook more at home, and then besides this, like the last 2 years, besides this pandemic part, I've been terrible about like cooking at home just because of like work and just laziness and Postmates and like like Uber Eats became
Yeah.
so popular, and I was like, oh, click on a button, click on a button, click on a button, and then I was seeing my like bank statements go like really high, and also just I had a hard time with like allergies. So every time I would eat out, I would have all these reactions and get really red and sleepy. So I was like, you know what, really need to start cooking at home again and just figure out what exactly that kind of what got me started cooking at home, not just the pandemic, but my allergies. So
Hmm.
I was able to break down exactly what it is that bothers me and able to kind of go from there. So that's kind of what started. And then the pandemic happened. I'm like, I'm already on it, you guys. You guys are way behind. But it's been nice. Like I feel like I'm a lot healthier. I feel like my brother's super into health and fitness, and he always would get mad every time I would get food out anyway. So like just not knowing I don't have all this processed food and everything, and plus the cooking in itself is very like therapeutic.
Hmm.
And my dad, I got that from my dad, where whenever we cook, it's just our very nice. Just play some music or put something on the TV, and just kind of just knowing you did something and just the process of it. It used to be baking, and now it's cooking for me. It just I don't know. It's a nice little therapeutic session for me when I do cook. So it's been nice.
Yeah, for sure. That's awesome. Yeah, my dad also is a really good cook, and everything that I've learned from him. So I think I think that's really valuable, like learning those skills from a family member. So that's
Yeah, a lot of people are like, it's always like everyone's like, oh, you're my mom, my mom. Like actually,
Mhm.
sometimes it's the dad. And that's like you said, your dad and my dad's a great cook, and sometimes you just have a really good dad that knows how to whip up some good recipes.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, so it's officially November, as crazy as that sounds. I feel like
Oh, it's
I
so
October
weird.
flew by.
I
uh,
literally said the other day, I'm like, it became October 1st. How is it November like 3rd or something? Is the 3rd today? Yeah, it's
the
election
third,
day. So
yeah, and it
yeah.
is like officially eating season. For for you, like, how are you preparing for like the holidays? Do you guys normally do you get together with your relatives, or are you going to keep it a little bit more low key this year with everything going on?
Normally we go to like my grandma's and do like the whole thing, like aunts, uncles, cousins. We do like the turkey mashed potatoes and like green bean casserole. Like we do everything. But last year was a little weird too. But this year, my sister just had a baby. I'm pregnant, and then so I was like, I don't want to be exposed to a lot of people. Plus, it's just not a good time to do that, and we should just be
Right.
kind of keeping close. So I think we're pretty much going to do a very intimate, just us family. And I mean, I like intimate things anyway. I was like, every year since the day I was born, it's been a chaotic, like, Thanksgiving. So I'm like, I actually am looking forward to it, to being in my own kitchen. I'm like, I'll mash my own potatoes with my little masher. I'll do this, I'll do that. I was like, I really just going and driving to my grandma's house and dealing with just aunts and uncles. I was like, I'll do that next year,
Yeah.
hopefully. uh,
Yeah, for sure. That's probably the smart thing.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. So,
Yeah. Do you have any like holiday meals that you absolutely have to have, or like cooking traditions that it sounds like you and your family are very close, so I didn't know if you guys
yeah,
have like special side dishes or something that like you always have to have or anything like that?
there's this one dish we always have, and people try to make I'll just say what it is and I'll tell the story. So, it's sweet potato casserole.
Mm,
So it's like a lot of times you'll have sweet potatoes at like Thanksgiving time and whatnot, but everyone tries to do it themselves, but ours is always better. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's always the best. My aunt will try to make her sweet potatoes, and it's like with the classic with like the marshmallows and like
mhm,
that. Ours is like we roast the sweet potatoes, and then we whatever you put it all together with butter and milk, and then we have this like really good pecan brown sugar crumble on top, and it's just the best thing in the world. And it came from my aunt on my dad's side, and then my mom started making it. She kind of like switched some things up and added some things, and then now it's just like perfection. So I don't know, it's always asked for. We'll make it year round, just
mm.
randomly, like we'll one a Thanksgiving meal, and so my mom will just whip it up, and it doesn't last very long, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, that sounds really good. You roast the sweet potatoes first?
Yeah, dude, that's the secret. So a lot of
Yeah.
people just like whatever, but when you roast it, it caramelizes the sweet potatoes, and
Mm,
it changes the entire dish. So it's such an important step that people get lazy about. Like they'll just like boil them and do whatever, which you can do, but
mhm.
it makes a big difference. So always roast your sweet potatoes, guys.
That's
Plus,
awesome.
I
That
like eating the sweet potato skins when they're roasted. They're so good when they're roasted. I'll just eat all the leftover skins when my mom's whipping it up.
that's great. That's a great tip. Honestly, I don't, because we make a lot of things sweet potatoes too, and I don't know if we've even done that. So that's awesome. That's definitely
Try
something.
it. It makes it a
Yeah,
lot
for
sweeter
sure.
and that little roasty kind of. I don't know. Either way, you'll know that taste when you taste it.
For sure. Awesome. Yeah, we'll definitely try that out and follow up because that sounds amazing.
Yeah, perfect time of year for it. So.
Right? Um, well, speaking of, that's a great segue. Speaking of tips, whether they're holiday related or not, do you have any other kind of like cooking or baking advice or tips for people who might be a little new to having to cook at home since this year has sort of created that situation?
Hmm. See, I grew up cooking in the kitchen, so to me, it always became like an easy thing. But I have been around I've had roommates and a lot of people that just didn't grow up cooking.
Hmm.
My fiance doesn't really cook that much. He's over there, he's laughing. Um, so it's baby steps. So my biggest thing is like take advantage of the internet,
Hmm.
and you can literally YouTube everything. I growing up, I just found a love for the cooking channel. So I would watch the cooking channel all the time, and just watching just little things and just little techniques and steps that would make a big difference in your cooking. And it's a process of learning, but just start
Yeah.
small, and then you can just get bigger and bigger, and just watch. I'm very much an observer. So I used to observe my mom, my dad, my grandmas, and then I would observe people on the cooking channel.
Mhm.
And then I just follow all these accounts and everything. So take advantage of the internet. That's my biggest thing. And take advantage of your elders. Don't just sit on the couch and just enjoy a drink and watch TV while people are cooking at Thanksgiving. Maybe like kind of make your rounds in the kitchen and just notice, or maybe ask if can I help. And that's how you learn the best, is by helping in the moment. So that's kind of like my tips. But I know it is intimidating, but you kind of just have to take those little baby steps, and you won't regret it. My roommate didn't know how to cook anything when I first moved with her. Like, she didn't even know how to like use the microwave barely. And now she's like a big old chef. I taught her how to like just boil chicken, simple boiled chicken,
Mhm.
easy. Taught her how to use the stove and the oven, and now she cooks better than I do. So it just takes, like, I think, like pulling the band-aid on something and just pushing you in the water. I'm trying to use all these analogies, but just throw them in there, and then they'll figure it out on their own.
Yeah, for sure. And I think you're right. I think it's easier if you have like people already that you're around who know how to cook, to learn
Hmm.
from them. And then it's fun too. Then it's like a bonding thing when you
Big
get to
time.
learn how to cook with somebody else. Like that's the
Yeah, like
best.
with your kids and stuff, like my little cousin will come over and she always wants to bake cookies. So
Hmm.
that's like our thing. And she now can do it on her own, just by like, oh, you can do the egg, or you can mix it up. Like, it's just little things like that they'll remember forever, and then tweak it and become masterminds on it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And starting young is probably a good thing too, to kind of like ingrain those habits. Although of course, I think cooking and baking, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter your age.
No, I really do think they should like offer it more. I know they used to, but they should offer it more in school. Because that, to
Hmm.
me, I had one cooking class for like not even like a semester or something. I remember in middle school, and that was it.
Hmm.
But it was so beneficial just for the little tiny of things that were in there. But I don't know, I feel like they should offer that more, because cooking is such a big part. A lot of people don't know how to do it, or didn't have anyone around them to teach
Hmm.
them, which like kills me, because I wish, like, not a lot of people are fortunate like that. But it's like they should instill that in you, because it is important. You need to know how to cook and survive. And especially now in the pandemic, people were forced to, and a lot of people are going towards Postmates or deliveries and stuff like that, and that's putting other people at risk, and it's a whole thing.
Hmm.
So it's very important to learn those skills.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, well, so switching gears a little bit, your career has been extensive, and you've been in the I don't know if a lot of people realize this, but you've been in the entertainment industry since you were a child,
Yeah.
almost your whole life, it kind of seems like.
I know.
Do you remember, or can you recall like kind of what initially sparked your interest in entertaining?
Yeah. Well, I did it with my mom. I always, my mom was like always kind of she liked to let us try things out and saw whatever sparked us. So when we were younger, probably around like 7 or 8, my mom would put me into like commercials and stuff like that, because when I did dance or anything like that, I was a very shy little kid, very shy. People don't believe me now because I'll talk to a wall, but I came alive on stage. And
Mhm.
so that was like my happy place. So she would put me in things like that. And so I remember being young and still being shy though, but enjoying the process a lot. So it was fun. And then when I went into middle school, I remember getting the choice to either continue on or do school, because I was missing a lot of school doing it. And that's what's so hard, being like a child and doing acting and like the whole all that whole world. You have to miss a lot of school, and I was like, I don't want my mom to homeschool me. So, plus I loved school. I was
Yeah.
such a like a nerd in that way, and I wanted to socialize and have friends. So I stopped doing it when I was around 12, and then when I was 17, 18, this is where the spark came back. And I remember there was audition. I was working at this tanning salon, local tanning salon, and there was auditions for America's Next Top Model.
Hmm.
And it was for like the shorty season. I was like, everyone was auditioning for it. Like, I'll do it, whatever. Like, if everyone's doing it, I'll do it. I ended up making it, and I made it to like the top 13. I thought it was crazy. I was like, what? And so I found out I didn't like reality TV. That was what I learned from that experience. Very weird world. But
Mhm.
being in front of a camera weirdly sparked what lit me up as a kid.
Mhm.
And so pretty much from there, my senior year of high school until now, I have not stopped. I just went straight. I after school every day, I would drive to LA because I'm from Riverside. And I would just go do acting classes every single day while doing my homework in the car when my mom drove me. And then I just did the whole thing. And I've been doing it ever since, and I haven't stopped. And I don't know, I've been very blessed with my career and what opportunities I've had. But it just, for some reason, some people have that thing where it's the camera comes on you. It's like, hey, just storytelling becomes so, I don't know, it's my happy place. Everyone knows me when I'm on set. And if I'm somewhere else on set, it's my happy place.
That's awesome. And I think it's cool because I think a lot of times when people talk about like the spark, I think there's this like idea that you have to have that spark like from birth and for
Mhm.
your whole life. So
No.
I think it's also really cool that you know, like you knew you had that, but you sort of wanted to prioritize school first and then like
Mhm.
later rediscovered that. I think that's kind of important for people to realize is whatever spark that is, like if you lose it and then refind it, like that's totally okay also.
Yeah, and that's what I used to get kind of jealous when I got older. When I got back into it, I would see all these people that are around my age that never stopped in their careers where they did all this stuff in between. I was like, wait, I could have done all that. But at the same time, I gained so much life experience. I gained so many friendships. I feel like I got so, and I just really got to figure myself out and
Mhm.
really knew this is what I wanted. And like you said, it's okay to put it away for a little bit and
Right.
then come back. And I remember looking at different careers like nursing and this and like pretty much what everyone tries to think what they want to do when they're graduating. Like, what college am I going to go to?
Mhm.
And I literally went and took the college test and everything. And then I remember after I did the college test to get like placed in a college, I literally like looked at my mom and was like, I don't know how to, so I can go to college anytime I feel like, and I just think this, I just feel, I felt it deep in my soul, like this, and I'm one to follow my heart.
Mhm.
And that heart told me, go do it. And that's what I did. And I'm glad I did it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Thank you. It's
um
fun.
yeah, that's awesome. And then later on you become the famous Yellow Ranger, Gina Morgan.
I know. It's so funny because like my resume is like I've done it for like over 10 years now. So it's like way over 10 years. So I have like all this stuff on my resume, but the one thing that really is like is Power Rangers. And it was probably the best experience of my life. So I get why. And it's like it's been around for 20 over 25 years,
Yeah,
27 maybe or something like that. So
7, yeah.
it's it's one of those things where you as a little kid you would never think I'm gonna grow up and be a Power Ranger. Well, you say that, but you never think you're actually gonna become a Power Ranger. And then I became a Power Ranger.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask because it is at this point, it's a generational franchise. Like it's been going
Hmm.
on almost for 30 years. So you've got, dads showing like their kids who grew up watching it, and it's been such a staple of American pop culture, and even longer in other countries. So that's kind of what I was gonna ask was like, at the time, like, did you kind of like recognize that, or did it not like resonate like until a little bit later, kind of like what you were signing up for and like what you were a part of?
Yeah, I did. That's what's funny. I when I was auditioning for it, I auditioned 2 years in a row. One year I auditioned, the year before my season, I auditioned and I got to the final thing.
Mhm.
And something in my heart told me not to do it. It was a weird contract. I was like, I don't know. I feel like I need to like, I just feel like I shouldn't take it. So like, who says no to being Power Ranger? I did. And so I said no. And then they brought me back again the next year. And this again followed my heart and it felt really right to do it that time. But I didn't know, like the first time I auditioned, I'm like, Power, that's still going on? I had no idea. Cause I remember, like you said, it's been around since in the US, it came out in 93.
Mhm.
I remember watching as a little kid and I remember the theme song. I remember watching it, but I was like, that was so long ago. How is that still going on? Apparently it was. And I did not realize how big of a franchise and family it was until the moment when they announced our cast. They have a Power Morphicon
Mhm.
every 2 years, which announces the cast. All the past Rangers come, and you have fans that come and like see them and meet them and autographs and pictures. And it's like the coolest experience. If you're a Power Ranger fan, that is the place to go.
Mhm.
And I'm so sad we had to miss it this year, but we're gonna have it next year. Woo! the best experience. So if anyone's out there wants to go to see Power Rangers, go to Power MorphCon. But so I didn't realize until we walked out after being announced, and this whole room was screaming and cheering. They just played our trailer, and we were all shaking and nervous and young, and we didn't know what was going on. And that was when I knew this is bigger than I even thought. And they said, like, you're joining a family, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Like, everyone always says, like, welcome to the family on a cruise set. I was like, okay. But this was an actual family I've joined. Like, I can call up like the original Rangers for like advice now. They're like my aunts and uncles and like cousins and brothers and sisters, and like it literally is a family, and it's been the best thing to be a part of. So yeah, I had no idea they were still going on, but it's been going on for way longer in Japan. So
yeah,
blows my mind how popular it is. But it definitely changed my world, and I've been able to travel the world and go places and meet many different ways of life, and I don't know, it's been a blessing in my life for sure.
that's amazing. That's so cool to be able to call on like past Power Rangers for advice, and I think that's really good for like future actors to know that they have that family
Yeah,
too. Like if that's something that they're interested in being a Power Ranger, I think that's a really good like kind of like message to send out there that's like this is a legitimate like
that's what
family environment.
I've had people I know like that were auditioning for the newer seasons, and they will reach out to me, and I've talked to every season. There's always some person I talk to because they're always nervous about it, and
Mhm.
that's exactly what I tell them. Like, this is everyone has your back in this family. Like, I've had times where I'm walking around. I remember in Lexington, I was walking around. We're doing a convention with some like the past Rangers, and I was there, and they're just like, I won't go into detail, but they had my back, and they were like the big brothers I never had, and they were like protecting me. So I was like, you will be protected, you will be loved. And that's why I tell every new Ranger going, it's going to be very hard work when you're doing it, but it's 1,000,000,000% worth it. And we're all going to have your back, and we're all going to love you through it. And you have like pretty much family for life once you join Power Rangers.
That's awesome. And it
Hmm.
sounds like you still do like the convention circuits for it as well. That is still, I mean, I've been to a couple and I know like they get super chaotic, but it
Yeah.
sounds like for you, like they're still really fun, which must mean a lot to the fans.
They're, I didn't even know conventions were a thing until Power Rangers, honestly. I was like, what is this place? I knew San Diego Comic-Con was like a
Mhm.
thing, but that was it. And it opened and I know they've gotten like more popular in the last couple of years, but I was like, it's such a cool experience. Like, go to different cities and meet new people, and I get to meet other people in different shows and movies, and then fans that like you get to talk to them and actually like interact and have great conversations and how things have touched your life or changed your life. And it's cool to actually talk one-on-one with somebody
Mhm.
and have like an experience with them, and also give them that experience. And I don't know, and I've gotten that experience going to convention, meeting people I look up to. I'm like, oh my God, so and so's here, and I'll freak out, and then I'll have to have someone introduce me because I'm too nervous, and like it goes both ways.
Yeah.
So it's been sad this whole last year, like we haven't been able to do really them. Like, I've done a couple of virtual conventions, but
Mhm.
I mean, hopefully next year we can start doing them again, because it is really, really awesome experience, and I don't want anyone to lose that just because of COVID.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sad times.
Yeah. Hopefully next year for sure. So then post Power Rangers, your filmography, it kind of dives into a lot of horror films with Pernicious and The Devil Came Near, and films like that. Is that a genre that interests you as an actress, or what, like, how did you sort of find your footing in the horror genre?
Yeah, I really love horror.
Nice.
I grew up loving horror films. I love being scared. I like my favorite films, like when I was 7 years old or 8, was like The Haunted and like The Ring and The Grudge. And, like, I loved it. I was like a little blonde little bobblehead with like like a love for horror films. It was kind of creepy. I don't know. But yeah, I started doing it after Power Rangers, and it just, I don't know, I fell in love. Like, once you do one, it's kind of like a lot of the movies I did were with the same director, because like when it's all about like, I made such a great connection with him, and we really bonded, and so we loved working with each other. So we just did quite a few things together. So yeah, I don't know, they're fun. It's not as scary when you're filming them, but
Yeah.
it's fun doing them. I have a movie out now called The Call that you can get on Prime, Amazon Prime Video, I think. But
Hmm.
that one's really cool. That one, like, I just think that's a really fun video. It's like they have Lynn Shay from, like, she's in a lot of different movies. Tobin Bell from Saw, I believe.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a very fun time. So I don't know. I just, any way to be scared, I'm down for. So to make other people scared, that's okay
Right.
too.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of people like knew that about you, that you sort of like had this genre or I'm sorry, that you were like into the horror genre and did all these movies. But I think it's cool, and I think it shows like kind of like your range as an actress, being able to like do action movies and then kind of like switch gears into horror movies.
Thank
I think that's
you.
really
I
cool.
really
Yeah.
like acting skill, like the heavy breathing and like the
Yeah.
terrified look and the shaking and the startledness is so much fun as an actress for me. So to do those kind of things, it's a little challenging. Like
Mhm.
rom-coms are easy, like breezy, like lovey-dovey, but when it comes to horror, it takes a lot of, whenever I watch horror films, it's, you have to know, you have to be really good at a range of emotion and showing it. And I always applaud anyone in any kind of stressful film because it takes a lot out of you to do them.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's very challenging. So I do like a challenge sometimes. So I don't know, it's fun. I need another one. I'm craving it now.
That's cool. That's really cool. Um, but your newest project, if I'm correct, Legend of the White Dragon, is more of an action film, right?
Yes, yes. So that one, I'll explain. So this one's like it's not Power Rangers, but it
Hmm.
has to do with people in Power Rangers. So Jason David Frank, who played the original Green and White Ranger, and
Hmm.
then Jason Font, who played Time Force Red, and then I think Catherine's doing as well. She was the Pink in Mighty Morphin and Zeo. So there's a lot of like Rangers in it, but it's not Power Rangers. We have to tell everyone it's not Power Rangers, but it's like a very, it's kind of gritty in a way that the people who grew up with Power Rangers and are adults now want Power Rangers to be now. So
Hmm.
it's very like Power Rangers now is very like Nickelodeon and very kid like, and as adults we love it, but we want that gritty and like kind of like hurt in it. And
Yeah.
so this one definitely has hurt and dirt and some maybe some blood, which is not a Power Ranger. It's just sparks. So I don't know, it's interesting. I definitely had a, my role in it is a lot different than I originally meant because I am expecting a child. So my
Right.
role is a lot different. So I did have, they're having to adjust, but they're so sweet about and so nice. So my, I don't know. I'm really sad I won't be able to do like the action packed stuff because that's what I love doing. I love getting in there and just kind of roughhousing.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, it'll be fun to root them on and still do my part in it. But it does make me sad. But it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I look forward to watching it. I look forward to everyone else watching it.
Yeah, I know it's still kind of in its early stages, but I didn't know if there was anything you could tell us, if there had been any like release dates set or anything like that.
We're supposed to be starting filming this month.
Okay.
So it's pre-production takes a long time, and
Mhm.
especially COVID made it way harder to start because we were supposed to start months ago, like last
Right.
year, and then all this year became a thing where we couldn't do anything. So because of COVID, we're most likely going to start this month because we were supposed to start last month. Now we're going to do this month, and it's just going to be very careful and precautious and do everything we can to be safe and just do our best
Hmm.
in the best way we can. But yeah, so starting here, it'll probably be maybe next year or 2021, maybe 2022.
Hmm.
Movies take a long time. It's
Yeah.
crazy how long people are like, oh, you filmed it? Like, when's it gonna come out? Like the day I wrap, I'm like, Grandma, I'm telling you, it's not coming out anytime soon. So just hold your horses. Post production's a crazy place.
Yeah.
But yeah, fun times. Hopefully it'll be good. It will. It will be good. I don't know why I said hopefully.
Yeah, I've already seen a lot of hype from Power Ranger enthusiasts already, have kind of been talking about it and keeping their eye out for it. So I think that's cool though. I think it's kind of for you, I would assume it's kind of nice to know that you already sort of have an audience that's anticipating it, so you
Hmm.
like know that you have them to kind of like rely on, and the support and the enthusiasm for
Oh,
them.
they're amazing. They've always been so supportive of everything. we couldn't even do this film without them. And they literally have helped us out so much. And our whole point is to give them what they, like I said, they want something gritty and deep and more storytelling. And this is our way of giving that back to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I really am excited for them to see and be a part of it. And I don't know, I feel like we've been hyping it up for like a year or two. So I don't know. I feel like they feel like they're part of it as well, which I don't know. It's becoming a family type film a family, not like family type, like it's like we're a big giant family in the
Mm-hmm.
Legend of the White Dragon family. And I feel like fans are a part of that family as well, which is cool.
Yeah, that's great. And I'm sure they like feel that as well. And that I imagine has to make the whole experience like better for them, knowing like how much it means to them and how much it means to you.
And for us too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like to know that we have their back, like they have our back, makes us feel so much more confident and happy about this experience. Cause like, we don't want to be like, oh, they like it. But like now we're like, you got this too. We have like a cheering, like cheerleader team behind us. And it makes
Mm-hmm.
us like want to do better and do better. Like everything. It's gonna be cool.
That's awesome. Yeah. So Legend of the White Dragon, we'll definitely keep our eye out for it. We're excited to see you kind of back in an action role, even if it is maybe a little limited, but
I know.
it sounds like a lot of fun though.
Mm-hmm. It'll be fun. It'll be definitely interesting to hide a little bump for a little bit, but it'll be a lot of hand fighting.
Well, Ciara, thank you so much for talking with me in Zulai Kitchen. It was very nice to meet you again. Thank you for being a fan of our products and being so open to talk about your career and cooking. We really appreciate it. We know like the fans are going to be really excited for this. Just thank you so much for your time.
No, thank you. And seriously, you made my life easier in the kitchen, and you made it a lot more fun with all these little gadgets. And it's been addicting. It's almost your stuff has made me want to cook even more. And so I know my family's appreciating it, my body's appreciating it, and I don't know, just it's a fun time. And I don't know, thank you for everything, and I'm just very appreciative. So thank you.
Yeah, no, of course. We try to bring kitchen happiness to more homes, especially right now, trying to create that bonding experience between families. And it means a lot to us that you've like picked up on that and are utilizing that in your life. And as well as like everybody else who has our products, like that's what we try to do. And we're very thankful that we're able to do that and provide that, ease to people in the kitchens.
Oh, look at that. I just want to hug it out.
I know, right? Thank you again for your time. Congratulations on your engagement and your pregnancy. I'm sure this is a crazy time to be going through all those big life moments, but we're very excited for you. And I'm sure you're excited as well.
It's definitely a double whammy, but it's a fun time. A lot of bonding time during all this time.
Yeah. Well, thank you again. We hope you have a great holiday season coming up. We wish you luck with all your personal and professional achievements as well forthcoming.
Thank you. You too. And make sure you roast those sweet potatoes.
Yes. I'm definitely, yes. And to all of our fans who are going to watch this, that's your tip. Roast the sweet potatoes for Thanksgiving, Christmas, everything upcoming.
And any time of year, yeah.
It was so nice talking to you.
You too.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you.